got all his weapons. He's got all his effects. Super Saiyan God. Shredder. This is the Shredder in Hell comic book version, right? So it's the comic book and action figure. Shredder in Hell, the IDW comic. IDW Turtles are freaking great. This Shredder, a little different. Gold instead of silver. It's got some magic effects, a different head, and a cool axe. And it comes with issue 1 of the comic book, opposed to the regular Shredder figure, which has a different paint scheme, different accessories, not necessarily less accessories, but just different ones. Of course, they're both based on the fantastic Santolouco artwork. So first, let's just dig into Shredder in Hell. Let me get him out of the box for you. There is that one neat thing you'll actually find, if I could get this out. Kind of a real slight touch, like on the insert box. I almost feel like they put it in upside down. I feel like that. I mean, you'll never see it, but I guess you would see it with this as the background. I don't know. Would it grow up? Would it grow down? Who can say? We have here is the comic. Shredder in Hell was a 4-issue miniseries, I believe. You could just jump straight into it, but you're obviously going to need... it's better if you know the IDW series, so you're going to want to read through all that. I recommend the hardcovers. But otherwise, it's a normal comic, and the awesome Santolouco artwork. Just, it's a wild adventure, of course, you know. People make appearances. It's just really cool, and this is like a true actual comic book. One of the favorite parts is the zombie turtles. I hope we get the zombie turtles at some point. But yeah, you can see like the ads in the back. There's like a real... It's a phone number? Oh, it's the like ISN number or whatever. Anyways. One of my favorite things about the Loyal Subjects, no ties. I mean, it feels silly to say that. That's one of your favorite things. But when you can just lift the figure right out, I mean, what are you gonna... Who's complaining here? Nobody. Full spread. We have the best action sticker. Very cool. I always feel bad if I'm gonna use it. We have this awesome axe. I like doing this. The twirl. The double skull. Goldish. We got the sword. You can see the nice gold. Everything on the regular Shredder that is metal becomes like a subdued gold. Here is the head sculpt. The head, they could have painted a little more on the brows or the sideburns. There's sideburns to cover that, but that's fine. And he has like a wicked scar on his eye. I mean, check that out. And then he has, instead of like claw hands, he has like kind of like a mystical magic hand thing. I don't know what you would call that. He has 2 like grabby hands. One, or I guess any of them can really like hold kind of like a Dragon Ball Z-esque power-up. And then this one is like he's doing like a claw flame thing, which you can see there's like little holes for the fingies to go in there. And so they just kind of claw right in. So he's like, I don't know. So those are the accessories. Pretty cool. And then here is the figure itself. So again, everything, as you'll see later, is just slightly different. Starting with like all the armor, it's like a goldness to it, and like a purpliness versus the blue. So the articulation, they did a nice thing with the pauldrons where they didn't get too crazy, so you can go, you get like the full upness, right? And then he's doing the full Townsend. There's the bicep swivel, which is nice. And then he is double jointed. So you got that going on. Again, the extreme joints on Best Action. I don't mind them. People, of course, have a lot to say about them. I popped out the hand. Pretty standard hand pegs. He can do all of that. So there's that. The torso, Ooh, okay, it was a little stuck. You can do quite a lot of twisting on the torso. There's no crunch, though, to it. So he has no crunch whatsoever. And then the waist. So he has like a double twist, so you can get all kinds of twisty. The legs, he does do the splits fairly well. Not necessarily full splits, and he has the thigh cut. It's sculpted, so it lines up a very specific way. His shredder butt, which he does have some nice buns. Can't go forward too or back too much, but he can do a pretty good kick. And then double jointed knees. Again, very extreme, but I think with the gauntlet kind of boot thing, that works good. And then standard kind of feet. They're rocking and they're swivel. Yeah, so that's the shredder here. This extra head sculpt. People, like, you gotta kind of like swivel it off. So they have the big neck. You can take off the cape completely if you like, if you just like the Ninja Shredder. Again, the cape, it's rubber, but I find it very flexible, very nice. So if you wanted just this guy. Oof. Okay. So there is our shredder. Let's compare him. If we can set all his stuff daintily to the side. Just put him in the background there. You can already see this figure, still no ties, stellar. We're getting him out. Let's compare the best action sticker. Okay. One thing the Shredder in Hell does not come with, the cool art card. So this is the, again, Mateus Santolouco art, best action. The bio there, the cunning and ruthless leader of the Foot Clan. Shredder is a skilled martial artist and strategist. He has feared and respected his allies and enemies alike, and ultimate goal is to conquer and rule New York City with an iron fist. The sword, again, it's a regular sword, but then you can kind of see, you know, the golded, maybe it's like a bronze, a pewter, I don't know. He has two of these golf clubby things. Somebody on a live told me like the real name, but there's a good, you can't maybe not really tell, the wood grain in there. Very nice. So he has two of those. The head sculpt here, so you can see the regular Shredder comes with like a different head sculpt. It has like the open mouth. Shredder in Hell has like the gridded mouth. So technically, if you want all the Shredder heads, you're gonna have to fork over. And then he has a various amount of just like the clawed hands. They're, again, sorry, the blue, so you can't necessarily switch them super easy. You still could if you wanted to, but there's that. Compare the two Shredders directly. Again, you can see what was blue becomes like a purple, anything silver becomes gold, and then the cape, I guess that's more of a maroon versus the more of like a cherry red. So I think they're actually both pretty stunning, super cool figures. I mean, really stellar stuff here. I like them both. You kind of, if you ask me, you got to get both. So Shredder in Hell, the package, you can get, I think Amazon has it for $34.99. Walmart, it was $30. And then Target, I saw Target has this guy. Maybe they'll have this one too. I don't know. Target has this guy for like 18 bucks. Amazon has him for 22. So I guess Target is the place to go, but I don't know. Two super cool figures. Yeah, highly recommend them. After this, let's check out some different poses I can squeak out of these guys. Thanks for joining me, folks. This is super fun. Go ahead, give me a like, give me a follow, a subscription. Really appreciate it. If you've made it this far, thank you, thank you. And then on to some more of the fun stuff. Here is what we're working with, actually. As I'm posing these guys to like an epic scene, I did pop the leg off. Arm would more be like up, like defensive style. If they're like going after each other. That's neat. That's just neat as hell, these two Shredder figures. You know, you have some of this, like the epicness that you can achieve, where the Shredder in hell is just too powerful. You know, he's got all his weapons, he's got all his effects, he's just, you know, like Super Saiyan God Shredder. If you're at all a fan, get yourself these figures. I mean, I think you can see just me goofing around wild how cool they are. Then you have the whole family there. You know, the turtles 4 to 5 inches, Shredder's about 6, and you can kind of see, I think both Shredders go with the turtles very well. This is the wash turtles. I do have, let me bust out like a non-wash Donnie. That version of Shredder with that Donnie. There's the plain Shredder with that Donnie. I kind of love them all. I think in the end, they kind of all look great. But, you know, that's up to you. Either way, I think this is a fantastic line. In many cases, you can get each of these figures for like 18 bucks from Target. I mean, that's a hell of a steal. Amazon, they run a little more. They're like 22. Walmart, this is like 30. Amazon, it's like 34. But yeah, hell of a line. I think these are fantastic. Go get yourself some. Like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz.